My roommate told our friends I didn't know how to cook, until his date asked who made the incredible pasta sauce, and he had to admit it was my recipe from the freezer. The silence that followed was beautiful, absolutely perfect. His face turned this deep crimson, as everyone at the table turned to stare at him. "Wait," his date said slowly, processing. "You said you made this from scratch." It started back in September when Dominic moved in. He was one of those guys who needed to be the best at everything. Better car, better job, better everything. I didn't care much. I kept to myself, worked my shifts at the hospital, and came home to cook. Cooking was my therapy after dealing with emergencies all day. I'd make these big batches of sauce, soup, whatever, and freeze portions for the week. Dominic started helping himself to my food without asking. At first it was small, a serving here and there. Then he'd bring dates home and serve them my lasagna, my chicken marsala, my grandmother's bolognese. I'd come home to empty containers and his boasting echoing from the living room about his culinary skills. When I confronted him, he laughed. "Relax, you make too much anyway. Besides, you're not exactly a professional chef." That stung more than it should have. But the real problem started when he began telling our mutual friends I couldn't cook. "Yeah, my roommate lives on takeout," he'd say at gatherings. "Poor guy can barely boil water." People would look at me with pity. I'd correct him at first, but he'd just laugh it off like I was being sensitive. So I stopped trying, let him tell his stories. Meanwhile, he kept raiding my freezer, serving my food to his dates, taking credit for recipes I'd spent years perfecting. Last Friday, he invited everyone over for dinner. Big production. He'd been bragging for weeks about this amazing meal he was planning. I knew exactly what he was doing because my freezer had been suspiciously empty all week. That afternoon, I got home early and checked. My grandmother's sauce, gone. The one I'd spent 8 hours making, the one with the secret ingredient she taught me before she died, completely gone. I didn't say anything, just went to my room and waited. Dinner started at 7. I came out at 8, pretending I'd just woken up. Everyone was already eating, praising Dominic's cooking. His date, this sweet woman named Claire, was practically glowing. "Where did you learn to cook like this?" she asked him. Dominic launched into this elaborate story about studying Italian cooking techniques online, spending all day perfecting the sauce. Then Claire turned to me. "Have you tried this? It's incredible." "Actually," I said quietly, "I made that sauce." The table went silent. Dominic laughed nervously. "What?" "No, I made this today." I pulled out my phone, scrolling to the photos I'd taken when I made the batch. Date stamped. Every step documented. That's my grandmother's recipe. The one with the pancetta and the wine reduction. The one you've been eating from my freezer for months. Claire's face changed completely. "You said you made this." "He takes my food all the time," I continued, then tells people I can't cook. Meanwhile, he's been serving my recipes to his dates and taking credit. Our friends started connecting the dots. The lasagna from last month, the soup he'd brought to the potluck. Every impressive meal Dominic had suddenly started producing, all mine. Claire stood up, grabbed her coat and walked out. Dominic tried following her, but she was done. After everyone left, Dominic packed his things, moved out that weekend. Turns out Claire had been his supervisor's daughter, she told her father. Word spread at his office about his pattern of taking credit for other people's work. He lost his promotion. Now I live alone, my freezer fully stocked, and I've started a cooking blog. Dominic's Instagram still shows pictures of my food. He never learned to cook for himself.